go right down the lane.
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La Salle.
All alone. Scott got it. Great hook by Coach Stick to break down the defense.
Another week of high school football here on the ISC Sports Network. Mike Fulton, Coach Lance Scheib here at Warrior Stadium for a matchup between Danville and Frankfort, Week 7 of the Indiana high school football season. Coach, two teams entering today that have two different stories entering today's game. But before we get into all that, let's get you a quick thank you to our sponsors. The NCAA Hall of Champions plan your visit at ncaachampions.org. Encompass Credit Union, we have a commitment to our communities. That's a difference you can count on. Check us out at encompasscu.org. And Indiana Wesleyan University, IWU, the world is waiting. Schedule a visit at discoveriwu.com today. This is our pregame report brought to you by Endeavor Communications. Discover how you can save money by bundling your Endeavor services by calling 1-800-922-6677. Coach, like I said, two different stories entering today with Danville and Frankfort.
Well, I tell you what, the biggest thing right now is I'm having talked to both coaches before the game, talking about Casey Woods. Couldn't have started better for the local hero to come back to Danville with two sectionals in 2 years, a regional championship last year. And then this year's been kind of a rebuild. We talked about before the game, they lost a lot of starters from last year, a lot of explosive players, lost 8 starters on defense, 7 on offense. And so they've been really kind of trying to find themselves, playing a lot better lately at 3-3. But really, Casey feels good about where they are, looking forward to tonight. James Byers, again, his biggest thing to me was we're just trying to build from the foundation up. And when you build a program, it takes time. And James is doing it the right way. And so right now he loves his young kids. You're going to see a lot of young, youthful kids out there for Frankfort. It'll be a great learning experience for them. Should be an interesting contest tonight.
Let's get you our eTech keys to the game. Endeavor eTechs can help you with all your computer and technology needs. Available to Endeavor members and the public. Call 1-800-922-6677 or visit weendeavor.com. They're your keys to the game.
Well, I tell you what, the big plays are always a key, especially when you're playing Danville. They've got explosive players. I really like their skill players in general. The running backs, I think, are very talented. So if I'm Frankfort, I've really got to be concerned about that. Take care of the ball. The biggest issue right now for both teams is they've turned the ball over. And special teams, that hidden yards, Mike, is one thing that, again, I don't care what level that you're talking about and what game that you're talking about, special teams always play a big role in games.
It is homecoming here today for the Danville Warriors. So Danville trying to win on a special night for them, and on the other side, Frankfort trying to spoil the homecoming punch for both teams. We'll step aside here momentarily, and when we come back, we'll get you the first quarter of action between Danville and Frankfort here on ISC.
I will. I'll get
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click weendeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
And just like that, it is a 1-run lead for Texas.
Pushes it ahead with the jam.
Goes down. We're going to see a slamma-jamma.
Put it in the air. Marley's there. Touchdown. Is it caught? Touchdown. Came down with the ball in the end zone. With the 3 ball. Get up the middle. Touchdown.
Looking for the alley-oop.
Again? I'm going to miss the big game.
Troubled by your TV provider? Endeavor is here with eTV. With Endeavor's television service, there's no need to worry about a thunderstorm or whether your satellite dish is pointed in the right direction. We also provide internet, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Danville and Frankfort about to get underway here on the ISC Sports Network. Mike Fulton, Coach Lance Scheib here alongside you. And there you can see the Danville Warriors in their home whites today at Warriors Stadium, about to enter the north side of the field. And Frankfort, their opposition, about to do the same. Once Danville takes the field, Danville sitting at 3-3 so far on the year, and they've won all three of their last 3 contests. They topped Crawfordsville. That was their first win of the season. They won that game 40-7 in convincing fashion. Then they beat Tri-West here at home. And then last week they took it to Southmont 40-26 in a road victory. So the Warriors have some momentum entering tonight against Frankfort, a team that could use any sort of win, be it a moral victory even here today. Frankfort an 0-6 team, as there you see Danville take the field.
Well, I tell you what, Mike, the biggest thing that I'm anxious to be able to watch tonight with Danville is, can they keep building on this 3-game streak? I think that's something right now. They've had a lot of postseason success. Definitely adds up to where they are primed to make another run. And I know Casey is excited about that. And like you talked about, anxious to be able to see what Frankfort's answer is and what their game plan is, just with the youthfulness that they've got. And they need things, it may not show up in the win-loss column, but they need to make sure they continue to build and make progress on what Coach Byers wants to get accomplished.
Danville has, like you mentioned, their sights set deep into the postseason this year, as they had a great run last year. A 13-1 season. They made it all the way to semi-state, where they lost actually here at Warriors Stadium to Evansville Memorial, who went on to beat Burbuff Jesuit in the state championship game. Lots of turnover, like you mentioned earlier, from that team a year ago. And Danville, although they're very talented and they're certainly the favorites here tonight, they still have some questions and some things to figure out on both sides of the ball.
Well, I'll tell you what, talking to Casey and then also to Jason Thompson, the defense coordinator, again, it's so much easier to learn on the field than from the sideline. These kids this year were able to watch the back-to-back teams the last couple years, and as a parent and as a fan, hey, my son can step in there, or a friend can do that. Nothing beats experience. And right now, that is the biggest thing that Danville is still doing, is they are working through some of this learning curve. And Mike, you get it. You were a player. You understand there's nothing like being out there on Friday night. There's nothing like that experience. And each game that you gain that, you play better and faster.
Frankfort won the toss and has elected to receive, so the Hot Dogs will get the ball first. And we'll get to see the Frankfort offense and Jack Espinoza up first. Beautiful evening here in late September in central Indiana, as fall is really starting to settle in, and it feels like football weather. Coach, we were talking about it a little bit. It's not as chilly as we thought it would be tonight, but it seems to be a perfect evening here in Danville.
Well, I tell you what, you could not have asked. The last couple nights have been just picture perfect, and it's one of those things, Mike, that I love the fall. The fall has been, is my favorite as the leaves start turning, and it's just the weather starts getting more comfortable, and it really is enjoyable from a Friday night. What I love about this time of the year too, Mike, is now you're playing the entire game underneath lights. It's all on, and so that is huge. but it should be just a very enjoyable night for us.
Braden Walliser to send it away for Danville. Back deep, Jade Ayers and Caleb Ford. For Frankfort, a little onside sneak attack, and the Hot Dogs were able to jump on top, and Frankfort will have good field position to start this game, just shy of midfield.
Anxious, Mike, to watch Reese Mitchell and Jack Espinosa play. That's really the 1-2 punch that Frankfort's going to rely on all night.
Jack Espinosa, number 34, has taken a majority of the snaps at quarterback so far this year for Frankfort, although Sam Michael looks to be at the quarterback position in the pistol here for the Hot Dogs, with Espinosa lined up behind him as a tailback. Bit of a high snap, and Espinosa gets the give and is met almost immediately. Good play up the middle from Dominic Wynn, one of the linebackers of this Danville defense. Let's see the Frankfort starting offense. And there you see it. Jack Espinosa, number 34, we thought would be the quarterback. He's lined up as a running back right now alongside Sam Michael. Bad snap, gets past Michael, who looked like was able to jump on it. And he did indeed. So a miscue on offense for Frankfort again. And execution is something that Frankfort needs to improve on. Let's see that Danville front. And there you see it, Alex Skinner, a defensive end, also a running back on the offense.
Tell you what,
and long.
Thus far, again, it couldn't have, really, if you're Coach Byers, you want things to go smoothly, good execution. They've had some issues already. Hopefully they can cure that.
Ayers caught it in the flats and was able to pick up just a couple. It'll bring up 4th and long and a punt situation for Frankfort.
Great job by Danville rallying to the ball. I really like the play call by Frankfort trying to get the ball on the edge. I think that was a great ploy, but nice job of Danville reacting and getting there.
So punt formation for Frankfort. A low snap, but Mendoza gets it away for the Hot Dogs. It's taken at about the 30, and Broderick making moves for Danville. He's their star receiver and free safety. Broderick across the 40 has space down the near sideline and eventually is pushed out of bounds all the way at about the 35. That was one of our keys to the game, special teams. And a good return there for Mark Broderick.
So what, Mark played a big role last year on last year's team, and now he's even doing more for Danville, and a great job of fielding the punt and with a great return.
So the Warriors already in plus territory, and there you see the offense led by Ben Slayton, their senior quarterback who can really sling it all around the yard. Slayton has it, looking to throw already. Looking to the end zone already. Slayton has his man, Connor Jones. Touchdown, Warriors.
I tell you what, Ben Slayton has got, can make every throw. Great job of relaxing and making the huge throw there. Great job by Connor Jones running the deep post here. The biggest thing, Mike, look how much time that Ben's got. You got that kind of time and you got that kind of arm. It's going to really be a long night for Frankfort if they don't get a little pressure on Ben.
A 34-yard throw and catch from Ben Slayton to Connor Jones. The extra point is up and through, 7-0. Very quickly, the Warriors jumping on top of Frankfort. We'll step aside here momentarily here on ISC Sports Network. 7-0 already this first quarter, brought to you by Encompass Credit Union. Encompass Credit Union proudly serves Tipton, Clinton, and Howard counties by offering a full line of deposit, investment, and lending products. We have a commitment to our communities. That's a difference you can count on. Check us out at encompasscu.org.
I'll tell you, Mike, it could not have started better for the homecoming home team here of Danville. Again, great job of 3 and out. Nice punt return by Broderick, and then Slayton does a nice job of finding Jones for the 38-yard touchdown.
Caleb Ford on the return for Frankfort, and he's wrapped up quickly just past the 20, only made it to maybe the 25. That's where they'll mark it, so not great starting field position here for Frankfort after the Hot Dogs couldn't do anything with their good starting position on their first drive.
Mike, look for Danville now to really start ramping it up front, and look for them to really start causing, trying to cause a lot of pressure and really give a kind of questionable Frankfort offense even more doubt.
Sam Michael still at quarterback. They give it to Espinoza off tackle, and Espinoza is stacked up for no gain. Nice play inside again by Dominic Wynn, number 81 in white for Danville.
Dominic has done a great job in both series of almost jar the ball out there, but great job of getting to the ball on the other side of the line of scrimmage. I like the way that he's using his quickness to get in the backfield.
Garrett Deaton also in on the play for Danville at 2nd and 10. Michael out of the shotgun. Gonna throw it. Has time and misfires to the near side, looking to drop one in the basket of Espinoza. 3rd and 10.
Again, I like kind of the play action, trying to hit the number 2 receiver, who happened to be the running back, in the flat. Like it. Again, just couldn't time it up right.
Looked like Michael had a bit of time there. Sam Michael has not taken a ton of snaps at the QB position for Frankfort, and now there's some confusion, it looks like, on offense for the Hot Dogs. Third and 10. Michael back to throw. Heaves it, and nobody's home. He was looking for Juan Mendoza, and maybe some miscommunication. It brings up 4th and 10.
I'll tell you what, looked at the receivers. I'm not sure if they didn't get the call or the signals, but they were responding like, hey, I'm not sure what I was doing here. Again, something that I know Coach Byers will address once they get to the sideline.
Juan Mendoza on to punt for Frankfort. Another low snap, and it's blocked. It's blocked. Frankfort picks it up and tackled down back behind the 20-yard line. I believe it was Ethan Cook on special teams for Frankfort. And again, Danville has outstanding field position already in the red zone. Low snap, and Mendoza couldn't get it away. There you see Cook on the recovery, and he had about 5 Warriors on him immediately.
That was Zane Thomas with the block, and one of the things that Casey Woods talked about before the game was very happy with the way that Zane Thomas is doing things.
Slayton pitches it back to one of his offensive linemen. That's big 72, barreling down inside Caleb Marr. Marr is tackled around the 5. That's a pretty good tackle from Caleb Ford, one of the defensive backs for Frankfort, making the play on the 250-pound Marr.
Well, again, I like the play design as something that, Coach Woods is giving their opponents coming up in the future a lot to prepare for, and I think that's what today's game will probably prove out to be.
Shotgun snap. They give it to Schubert. And Schubert is brought down just shy of the goal line. Pickup of a couple. Danville has a couple of backs in the backfield that can get it done. Alex Skinner and Chandler Schubert. Skinner is senior. Schubert, number 6, the guy who just ran the ball for Danville. 185-pound junior, also plays linebacker. Leads the team in yardage and attempts. They give it to him again. Straight ahead and across the goal line and in. Another touchdown for Danville here in the first quarter.
I'll tell you what, Schubert last year and Skinner, both good players for Danville, both got a lot of carries. Skinner, the senior's playing more on defense now, so Schubert really is taking up more of the workload as the running back here. Good job up front by the offensive line of scoring with their man.
That was 59 Jackson Douglas and 72 Caleb Marr leading the way up the middle. Paving the road for Chandler Schubert. The extra point is through. 14-0 as Danville continues to pour it on here early against Frankfort on the ISC Sports Network.
Applying for healthcare coverage can be hard. Let us help.
Covering Kids and Families of Indiana's local licensed navigators provide free assistance to kids and adults.
Go to www.ckfindiana.org. Click on your county. Schedule an appointment.
For more information, please give us a call at the number listed below.
Se habla español.
Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
An early lead here for Danville, 14-0 with a little bit under 8 to go in the first quarter. It's been all Warriors in every facet of the game here early. Frankfort, an 0-6 team that has not had a lot of success, especially on offense. They've had a couple of 3-and-outs. They just had a punt blocked. It's been a tough season for the Hot Dogs. And the woes continue, at least here to start, against the Warriors. Short kick. Taking it from the 20 is Jade Ayers, and he spins down just shy of the 25-yard line. So similar starting field position for Frankfort here on their third drive.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, the one thing if I'm Casey Woods I'm happy with is you start strong. It's homecoming. There's a lot of distractions, the parade, all the other good things about that. But your kids came out focused, and they're able to take advantage of Frankfort mistakes early. So kudos and credit to Casey Woods and his Warriors.
Sam Michael, the quarterback, alongside Juan Mendoza. They give it to Mendoza, and he is brought down just near the 20-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. Back in the backfield. Let's see what the marker is. Face mask against Danville. So a break here for the Hot Dogs.
Again, it's hard to really to be at fault there. You know, again, I like the play coming downhill from the safety spot, and by Dominic Wynn, we've called his name a lot already. But it's one of those things that's kind of has hand in the wrong place.
It is only a 5-yard penalty from the spot, and it's still first down. So Frankfort has it at their own 27. They give it up the middle to Espinoza, who plows forward for a pickup of a few. That's been the best offensive play of the game so far for Frankfort. Actually, a nice little seam right there up the middle for Frankfort.
Like how Espinoza runs with a nice lean there. Really, again, Jack was definitely the hitter and not the hittee. Nice first down play for the Hot Dogs.
They give it to Espinoza again, trying to get around the outside, and he drags a Warrior with him for about a yard. Danville was in the backfield again that time with Steve Thomas, one of the defensive linemen, number 53, making things interesting in the backfield, along with 72, Caleb Marr.
Nice job there by West, outside linebacker Tommy. Scott West, legendary quarterback at Martinsville, played quarterback at Purdue. good friend, and good to see Tommy in there making a play.
3rd and short. They give it to Espinoza again, trying to bounce it to the outside and cut down shy of the marker. That was Mark Broderick, who came up from his safety spot. And it's 4th and a couple.
And nice job by Espinoza keeping his feet going, but even a better job by Broderick of not giving up on the play and holding or causing Frankfort another 4th down and a punting situation.
4th and 2, and now Espinoza is the new punter, but it's a fake up the middle and making the line to gain. Reese Mitchell, one of the running backs on this Frankfort team. He took the direct snap and worked ahead just barely past the 35. And boy, if Mitchell was able to stay on his feet,
yes,
he had more real estate in front of him.
I'll tell you what, I love the call. You know, again, if you're Coach Byers, you're thinking, hey, I've got to do things, to create a spark, and that's what that just did.
They feed Espinoza again off right tackle, and he picks up a couple. But on each one of these plays, there are 3 or 4 Danville Warriors swarming to the ball.
So I like, Jason Thompson's defense has always been very aggressive, attacking, and even though they're younger and they got young kids, that philosophy is still being played out tonight in front of us.
You can see the way they play. It's reminiscent a bit of last year. They don't have as much star talent, maybe. Here comes a blitz. Michael in trouble, and he goes down. Dropped in the backfield for a big loss. Tommy West making the sack for Danville.
Talk to Casey Woods about Tommy. He said, you know what? He's not the biggest kid that we've got out there. He's always in the right position, right place, and he rarely makes a mistake. And again, Casey's comment was, you win football games with players like Tommy West.
It's a loss of, we'll call it 12. So now it's 3rd and very long for Sam, Michael, and Frankfort. Michael back to throw, but we have a stoppage and a flag. Might have been some movement early. So before the snap, we had encroachment. It'll be a free 5 for Frankfort and make this 3rd down a little bit more manageable, but it's still 3rd and long, and this is not a big play offense.
Well, I'll tell you what I'll be anxious, they were going to run a quick screen. What I'll be curious about now, if they come back and run almost like a quick screen and go, because Danville has seen this, and all of a sudden try and see and slip that blocker up the sideline.
Danville has nobody deep. Michael trying to air it out over the middle, but didn't get close to his intended target on that one. It'll be 4th and long.
Good possession for Frankfort. Clock moving, clock running, gained a couple first downs. We talked about some of the victories that they need to look at here before the game here. The biggest thing right now was kind of settling down a little bit offensively. Biggest thing was Espinoza, Mike, really did a nice job of running.
Now Espinoza fumbles the snap, tries to kick it away, and Frankfort jumps on it. But boy, special teams have been a disaster for the Hot Dogs. That's the 2nd punt attempt in a row gone wrong. And now the Warriors will have a short field to work with. Good snap.
Yeah,
good enough.
Just dropped it. It happens. New punter, different punter. Espinoza, obviously their best player, just took his eyes off the ball a little bit.
So Ben Slayton and company to take over. Schubert is the back in the backfield alongside Slayton. He gets the give up the middle. Schubert using those legs, still churning, and eventually makes it down inside the 20. A nice pickup of 5 on 1st down. Another thing to keep in mind as this game continues to go on is that Frankfort has probably a few more players playing both sides of the ball than Danville does, a smaller squad. You saw Espinoza in on that tackle. He is the workhorse on offense for the Hot Dogs.
And right now, I agree totally. They're playing kids on both sides of the ball. Danville does a little bit, but not as much. To your point earlier, again, the biggest thing that Frankfort's doing now is they're playing two safeties. They're trying to prevent the big play, so look for Danville to run the ball a lot moving forward until Frankfort gets out of that two-safety look.
A false start against the Warriors pushes them back 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 11. Penalties have actually been a problem for Danville over the first half of the season. And they've lost some close games. They went 0-3 to start. Lost to Cascade, Mooresville, and Lebanon. Cascade was a 7-point victory in Mooresville, or a 7-point loss, I should say, and they lost by 2 at home against Mooresville. Schubert again up the middle and eventually brought down by Espinoza for Frankfort. Pickup of 9. It'll be 3rd and 2.
Nice job. Nice play call here. A little almost like a draw play. Schubert was very patient. Line did a great job of selling it. And again, how does that open up so much in the middle? They pass pro'd. Everybody got upfield. Schubert found the lane.
They give it to Schubert again, but this time nothing doing. Good work up front for Frankfort. In on the tackle, Diego Nava and Caden Stein.
Great job up front by Frankfort. Again, causing some penetration and causing issues. Now Danville's going to go quick.
4th and 4, and it looks like they got Frankfort to jump. We'll see who the call's on. It is against Frankfort, so a free first down. 5-yard penalty, and that marches Danville up to just shy of the 10. That was a chance for the Hot Dogs defense to get off the field. Would have been a nice stop for them after shutting down the run a couple times, but now it's 1st and 10 for Slayton and the Warriors.
Well, I'll tell you what, Frankfort had a great opportunity, off a bad snap. And so now to give him new life it normally doesn't work well. It's kind of weird, Mike, how that works. A mistake like that normally is hard for the team that committed that mistake now to actually cause a turnover or do something on their own. And I don't care if we're talking about basketball, football, baseball, it doesn't matter. And I'll be anxious to see if Danville's able to capitalize on Frankfort's mistake.
There you see Connor Jones going up for it. Good coverage from Evan Jordan. Now Slayton to the air again, has Broderick to the corner and in. Touchdown for Mark Broderick. That is his 7th touchdown reception of the season. Just a quick hitch?
Yeah, just a quick hitch. Ball's out quick enough to where the defender really could not react to it, Mike. And nice job by Broderick of scoring the ball there.
20-0. Pending a PAT. Walliser gets it up and through. 21-0 with a little over 1:30 left to go. We'll stay right here on ISC. But a great start for Danville, one that maybe they anticipated. Frankfort having a tough year and struggling here in the first half just for any sort of consistency on offense. But if they can pick up a first down or 2 here, finishing out the first quarter, on defense, they haven't not been able to stop the aerial attack of Ben Slayton and Mark Broderick.
Well, the homecoming crowd is being given a treat here because, again, they're going to put on a clinic probably for most of the game here. And they're off to a great start. What I like, again, the ball gets out of Ben Slayton's hands so quickly. And, again, doesn't give the DBs a chance to recover much. And, again, I like how Ben spends it, and I'll be anxious to see how he builds on his start.
Walliser to kick it deep, this time from the far hash. A little pooch towards the sideline, and it bounces out of bounds. A break for Frankfort. They'll take anything they can get here early on. Just a reminder that this first quarter is brought to you by Indiana Wesleyan University. Indiana Wesleyan, The world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. IWU can help you discover, clarify, or develop your calling. Schedule a visit today at discoveriwu.com.
Well, Mike, you make a point earlier about Frankfort now. They need to just run the ball a little bit here. They need to be able to run some clock, get a couple first downs, and build on their last possession because, again, the last possession ran about 4 minutes off the clock. A couple first downs gave their defense a chance to regroup a little bit.
Michael out of the pistol, hands it off up the middle, and then Espinoza driven backwards. Or no, that was instead Juan Mendoza. A loss of 3. This is a Frankfort team that, like we mentioned, 0-6, and you try not to harp on the negatives, but they are glaring offensively. They've only been able to muster up around 650 yards of total offense through 6 games. That's not going to win you any football games.
Well, they're averaging scoring 4.5 points a game, giving up 48. And so that, again, they just have got to find ways to be able to quit beating themselves, which is what they've done so far in our game.
And they just did it again. Another bobbled snap as Sam Michael had trouble handling the ball from his center, Tyler Gooden.
Well, I'll tell you what, you've got to stop beating yourself before you can win. And so that's right now the stage that Frankfort's in right now. Their penalties, their turnovers, their bad snaps, those are all ways that you lose games. So before they can truly start, having a chance to win, they've got to take care of their own mistakes.
Michael in trouble and is sacked again. Guess who? Dominic Wynn. We've called his name quite a bit here this evening. Having a monster game.
Yeah, Mike, he has been really good, and I like the aggressive style that Jason Thompson has done with his defense, getting them to be able to play aggressively, and Dominic Wynn has really answered the call early on.
When we come back, a 3rd and 21 for Frankfort here on the ISC Sports Network.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Mom, we're late, and I left my soccer bag at Cindy's, and I need to get my dress today.
It's okay, honey. I'll take care of it.
Oh, Mom, I'll take care of it.
We'll take care of it. With more ways to access Indiana's most highly skilled primary care doctors.
Stop!
Indiana University Health makes it easy to take care of your family.
What? I told you I'd take care of it.
Schedule same-day primary care appointments at 1-888-IU-HEALTH.
It's actually 4th and 30. Misspoke at the end of the first as we enter the second quarter of action. A punt for Frankfort, and it's blocked again. Mendoza didn't have time, and Dominic Wynn again in on the play for Danville. He has been a madman all over the field for the Warriors. Real quick, this second quarter is brought to you by NCAA Hall of Champions. Tonight's second quarter is brought to you by the NCAA, located in beautiful White River State Park in downtown Indianapolis. Experience all 24 NCAA sports at the NCAA Hall of Champions. With its 2 floors of interactive exhibits, you can shoot some hoops, kick a field goal, test your vertical jump, and more. Plan your visit at NCAAchampions.org.
I'll tell you what, Mike, I'll be anxious to be able to see how this goes now. I like what Casey Woods does there. Goes on to, which now again, Frankfort's trying to beat Danville to the punch here. Now you make him wait and delay, and so again, I'm not surprised by Casey Woods' attack.
And we have a stoppage after the encroachment penalty. I believe a timeout is called by Frankfort. And that is indeed the case. Coach Byers calls a timeout for the Hot Dogs to try and settle his team down a little bit. They've had some very glaring mistakes. Obviously, the punting game has been atrocious, and now the penalties are starting to pour in. And losing the game off of ability is one thing, but when things start to spiral out of control from a discipline standpoint, that's quite another.
Well, to your point, Mike, great timeout by Coach Byers. I think, again, more than anything else, relax and regroup. Okay, it's not where you want to be. You're down 21. Danville's got the ball again on the plus side of the 50 and then almost to the red zone again. And so now I like the timeout. Go back and regroup and harp to his kids. What are we trying to get done here? First thing is watch the ball. Second thing is find the ball and then make a play. So I like the philosophy that James is doing here, Coach Byers. But again, ultimately, it still may come down to talent, and then the talent level for Danville is better than what is at Frankfort.
New back in the backfield, Donovan Jones for Danville. Schubert getting a spell on the sidelines. 1st and 5. They give it to Jones. Jones trying to make the end, and he's brought down for a loss. Nice play there on the perimeter for Frankfort. Reese Mitchell was first on the scene, but Caleb Ford finished off Jones for a loss of 2 or 3.
Casey Woods' eyes lit up when he talked about Donovan, just because, again, he's a transfer student in. He's starting to figure it out a little bit, and that's the one area with the 3 backs of Schubert, Skinner, and Jones. He feels real good about his depth there.
So 2nd and 7 from the 16. Slayton out of the gun. They give it to Jones again, this time right up the middle. Jones breaking tackles and eventually planted backwards by Espinoza. And you see the playmaking ability from Jones a little bit there on that run. Only picked up maybe 3 or 4, but broke that initial tackle. Pretty good at the point of contact.
Well, I think Casey likes, and as the season goes, I think I would see Jones trying to get into space. There'll be swing passes, some kind of quick passing game, something to get him in space. I think he really has a little wiggle to him.
Looking for space now along the near sideline, and eventually brought down by his jersey out of bounds. Almost a horse collar tackle there, but no flag. Ball inside the 5 now. Or no. Let's see where they mark him out. Yep. Should be inside the 5-yard line down there.
Great job of bouncing that outside by Jones and then using his speed to get to the corner. Nice job by Frankfort, though, of rallying to the ball and keeping him out of the end zone.
So now Schubert back into the game. And they feed Schubert, the workhorse, an easy touchdown for Danville. Chandler Schubert with another rushing touchdown. That is 8 on the year for the junior. Warriors opening it up here with 10:30 left here in the first half.
Another nice job by Danville in general of capitalizing on a Frankfort mistake. Skinner again runs hard Chandler, again, I like how he attacks when he's got the ball in his hands.
Oh, and a broken play, and Espinoza breaks up the pass. As that time, the holder for Danville, Luke Woot, scrambled and tried to make something out of the low snap. Point after attempts have been tricky for Danville this year. As we get another look from our ISC crew of the Schubert touchdown, but point after attempts have been sketchy for Danville, and you could say that they cost them a game earlier in the year against Mooresville when Danville went for 2 every time they scored. They scored 4 touchdowns and only got the 2-point conversion on one of them. They lost that game 28-26.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're looking at special teams, and we talked about it before the game as one of our keys. And, from punt snapping to just a normal execution of the special teams, really both sides have not been great, hasn't been real clean, something that the coaches I know will really focus on next week.
So here's Brayton Walliser to kick it away again for Danville. He's been busy here in this first half. Walliser with his right foot puts it back to the 20. On the return, Caleb Ford trying to make it around the far end and almost broke a tackle. Brought down shy of the 30-yard line. The best return of the day for the Hot Dogs. And let's see what Frankfort can put together here on offense. They've struggled just as far as execution is concerned, and we know that was one of the points of emphasis of Coach Byers for the Hot Dogs, just executing on offense. They have not been able to do it, whether it's getting the snap down or blocking assignments up front.
Well, to Danville's credit, and Jason Thompson on defense, is they're being very aggressive. They're bringing their safeties down low. There's almost 9 guys inside the box or by the line of scrimmage. So I like what Frankfort's doing. If there's no safety, then throw over the top. I like it.
Caleb Ford looking for interference. Not a bad ball there from Sam Michael. Probably the best one we've seen him throw, but excellent coverage there from Danville. As Michael got it away, but couldn't quite get it over Carson Waddle, the senior.
What I like, Mike, and you were DB, so you understand this, is Waddle there attacked that ball with the proper hand. What I liked about the fundamentals is he secured the player with the offhand and used the near hand to go and deflect the ball away. That talks to the fundamentals that are being taught by the defensive staff and staff in general of Danville.
Frankfort takes another timeout. We'll stay right here on the ISC Sports Network with Danville up 27-0 over the visiting Frankfort Hot Dogs on homecoming night for Danville. Things going very well so far for the home team. Frankfort trying to get something going on offense, maybe even if it's just a couple first downs. That could be big for the confidence of this team.
Well, the biggest thing right now is Frankfort has to find a way, to get the clock running. And the problem is Danville is putting 9 guys at the line of scrimmage, and they're saying throw the ball. The problem is when you throw the ball and you don't complete it, the clock stops. And so the average possession, I think 3 of the 4 times that Frankfort's had the ball, less than a minute has run off the clock because of the fact they're throwing the ball. And so that right now is an issue. It's a problem, and I'll be anxious to see how Coach Byers adjusts to what Danville's doing.
It looks like Danville is just playing straight up man press coverage at the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10. Mark Broderick is listed as the free safety, but he's only about 7 yards off the line of scrimmage. They give it up the middle to Espinoza, looking for a crease, and he only picks up maybe 3.
The one thing, Mike, that I like what Danville's doing is when you get up 27-0, you tend to relax. And that's when it gets sloppy and you get hurt and bad things happen. What Jason Thompson's doing and what Casey Woods wants to see happen is when you start bringing people and bringing pressure and playing aggressively, you tend to keep playing harder longer. So I like the philosophy of what Casey Woods is doing with his team in general.
You think this team maybe feels like they still have something to prove after they got punched in the mouth a little bit to start off the season 0-3?
I think, as when they've had the success they've had, and then to start out the way they have, losing some close games, I think, again, people are starting to doubt. The community's asking what's going on. Their classmates are doing the same thing. And so, again, I think it looks to me like Danville's playing with a little chip on their shoulder here, and I like the way that they're responding to the challenge.
Tough run from Jackman Espinoza on that one. Brings up 4th and short. Frankfort's going to go for it, and they're going to bring Michael under center.
the way their snapping has gone for punting, I think they've got a better chance right now of something good happening.
And they give it to Espinoza, who makes the line to gain. That's enough to move the chains. Frankfort's converted on a couple fourth downs today. They had that fake punt earlier. And here Espinoza was able to pick up 2 yards when he needed 1.
I like the call. I mean, again, you
have to, right?
Well, you've struggled in the special teams.
Yeah.
It's 4th and short. Give it to your best player in Espinoza. And now the clock is running. Life is good. And I just like the philosophy of Coach Byer saying it's not a risk, it's how we need to be able to play.
1st and 10 for Sam Michael. Gets it off to Espinoza, looking for space off the left side, and a flag comes in. Looks like they might get a hold against Frankfort. It was a pickup of 5, but we'll see what the flag brings.
Mike, it looks like a hold. We've got a great crew here in Kevin Brown, state championship crew. I like when it's a pepper, you can't just drag people to the ground here, and that's kind of what happens.
And there you see our head official, Kevin Brown, giving us the call. That's a 10-yard penalty. So it'll bring up 1st and 20. So after Frankfort picks up the first down, they get pushed back even more, back all the way to the 30-yard line.
Well, the one thing, Mike, that we talked about earlier is the self-inflicted mistakes that Frankfort's doing here. They've got a couple first down. Life is good. Again, you cannot keep doing that.
Oh, that's a fumble. Danville, a defensive touchdown. Garrett Deaton picked up the fumble after Michael was looking for Espinoza in the flats. It was without a doubt a backwards lateral. And none of the hot dogs were aware enough to jump on it.
Yeah, it was because it was thrown backwards. Just because he drops it, the ball's still live. And people want to understand why are they able to do that, because it was not completed and then a fumble. It's a lateral. Ball goes behind the line of scrimmage and behind the quarterback there. Great. What I love, though, was the Danville players realized it, picked it up, scoop and score. Love it.
There were 2 or 3 of them that were chomping at the bit to get that football. 34-0. Danville up big here with 8 minutes to go in the second quarter. We'll be back in a bit here on the ISC Sports Network.
At Mulberry Health, we support each member of our family in living a full, rich, meaningful life. Our experienced team of caregivers brings that mission to life each day. We treat each resident as an individual, from knowing how someone prefers their coffee to which activities they enjoy most.
I could not take care of my mom the way they take care of them here. I've just been very happy with my experience and my mom's experience here. I look forward to seeing my mom grow here.
Visit us online or come see us yourself. We would love to show you around.
Second quarter of action brought to you by Boqua Aquatic Fitness, an exercise program combining aquatics, athletics, and high-intensity interval training, or HIIT. It's a water workout for your body. It's a water workout your body will love you for. Grab your boats and get wet. Sounds fun, Coach. Little water workout.
We have watched the highlights of their commercials all year, and I love the water aerobics, and I love what that does for you.
It seems like more than aerobics, though, isn't it, to the next level?
Well, I tell you, what I like, again, is the water workouts in general are so much better for your body, and what Boqua offers is really good, and I like the training of it and how things go, because I know, especially the older that I get, the water becomes more of my friend than running and doing the workouts like I used to be able to do.
Well, I remember from my days long ago playing, and I'm sure these guys on the field, Danville and Frankfort, have it to look forward to tomorrow, but maybe getting in that pool and doing some of that rehab. A fumble, and this could be another turnover. I think it is. Garrett Deaton again with the ball. He just scored the defensive touchdown, and here he recovers the fumble for Danville.
And Mike, you talked about this. It's not anything other than right now execution for Frankfort. The snap is in the quarterback's hands. Okay, he just drops it. And again, that's execution. That's focus, that's concentration. Those are all things, if I coach Byers, I'm frustrated with because they control that. And so he'll harp on that to his kids. And again, it doesn't take long to lose that focus. We're still talking about high school kids.
Right.
And right now they've lost it a little bit. They've got to regroup their composure a little bit.
So Slayton back into the game with Chandler Schubert to his right in the gun. Slayton to throw it here on first down. As his man Dostin, and Tyler Dostin brought down near the first down marker to about the 20.
People are going to look and say, hey, they're up, Danville's up 34-0. Why are you throwing? They're just running their offense. Yeah. They're not doing anything. That's a simple hitch route. And, just because your opponent's struggling, you can't stop doing what you do. Because right now, Casey Woods is really concerned about right now, but everything now is planning for that next game against Western Boone next week. So they just can't go into, hibernation here. They've got to keep running their stuff. It's a game for them to get better.
Slayton looking to the end zone. Touchdown! Connor Jones once again. His second touchdown catch of the day. And they fire the cannon off here in Danville once again. A huge lead for the Warriors here in the first half.
We talked about execution. Nice job that time by Ben Slayton on the execution of the fade route. Again, what I like about it is he puts it in the right spot. If his receiver can't get to it, it's out of bounds. Those are the little coaching points as they move on against Western Boone and in the tournament that are going to be huge for Danville to keep moving forward and playing into November.
Extra point is up and good for the Warriors. 41-0 will stay here on the ISC Sports Network. Danville with a huge lead over Frankfort in just the first half on homecoming night. These stats for the Warriors are going to look awful funky in the box score at the end of the game. Not a lot of yardage, but already a handful of touchdowns on offense and one on defense. But this offense for the Warriors has not had to go very far. They haven't had the ball in their own territory yet, I believe.
Oh, well, great point, Mike. And I think the biggest thing that I give Casey Woods credit and his team credit for is they're capitalizing. You're absolutely correct. A, they're causing turnovers, which is a huge deal. But B, they're able to capitalize and finish, which is something that as a coach, you got to be very, very happy.
Let's see if the Hot Dogs can stop the bleeding here with 7 to go in the second quarter. Braden Walliser sends one deep. Taking it back from around his own 15, Jade Ayers. Ayers wrapped up and brought down near the 30. We'll see if the Hot Dogs can string a couple of positive plays together on offense.
Well, not the last possession because it went backwards, but the one before they had put together a nice little couple first downs, run the ball inside, outside, taking a couple shots deep. I like the variety and the philosophical approach, but the execution has not been there for Frankfort thus far.
Well, they just need to get the snap down.
Yeah, good point.
1st and 10. This snap received by Sam Michael. Gets it off to Espinoza, but Espinoza driven back by that entire defensive line and linebacking core for Danville.
As aggressive as Danville's playing, look for Espinoza. If he can hit the right crease, he could go the distance. Just because there's no safety help. Everybody is at the line of scrimmage. I like the philosophy by Casey Woods and his defense coordinator, Jason Thompson. But that could happen because when you've got that many players at the line of scrimmage, if somebody gets blocked or shielded, you've got a chance for a big play.
That's got to be tough to be the workhorse of a team that's been really downtrodden throughout the season and to be the guy on that team. And Espinoza so far has had to try and do it on both sides of the ball.
I like what Espinoza does. I like the way he's playing. I like his aggressiveness as a linebacker and as a runner. And again, nice play call there by Frankfort and Coach Byers. The execution just a little bit behind the receiver. I like what they're trying to do because it's one-on-one. There's 9 guys that are stopping the run. It's one-on-one. Danville's telling you, throw the football.
Now it's 3rd and 10 after the incompletion. Sam Michael looking for Jade Ayers. Michael in the pistol. Danville coming with pressure. They give it to Espinoza up the middle, who's able to squirt forward for about 5.
He was close. And again, Danville's bringing pressure, which I would do. I love what Danville's doing. They're doing exactly what they need to do. Frankfort, again, the offensive linemen really have done a nice job of blocking more than just their man. And again, it's almost a case, can Coach Byers kind of guess which side the pressure is coming from? Because if he can guess opposite, just like there, Espinosa was probably 1 player away from making this a big game.
And Coach Byers calls another timeout. That is Frankfort's 3rd here in the first half. 41-0, Danville on top with about 5:30 or so left to go here in the first half of action. Frankfort's been pretty good on 4th down here today when they've gone for it. And the way that they've tried to punt the ball, they really don't have any other option.
Well, I'll tell you what, the biggest thing right now that Coach Byers is going to fight is because Danville's so aggressive, talked about earlier, is it's becomes almost a guessing game because they have you outnumbered. If you're able to put the ball on the perimeter or away from the pressure, you've got a chance to make a big play. Right now, if for example, if Frankfort swings the back away from the pressure, Espinosa has a chance. They tried that the last time, and it was a lateral, and it ended up being, it kind of backfired on them.
You can see Danville loading the box here on 4th and 5. We'll see what Coach Byers decides to do on the play call. They give it to Espinosa again, up the middle, and not quite enough. Got maybe 1. In on the tackle for the Warriors. Again, Tommy West, and also this time Aiden McCormick, sophomore defensive lineman, number 61.
Well, I like what Coach Byers did, and I'm not sure anybody can really see it there. He went on the second go. He went on 2, tried to get Danville to come off sides. I like that philosophy. Again, it made Danville wait just a hair, but the problem was it was 9 defenders against 5 blockers or 6 blockers, and ultimately Danville just had them outnumbered.
So again, a short field for Ben Slayton and the Warriors with Donovan Jones back in the backfield with Slayton. They keep it on the ground with Jones. Jones breaking tackles, working to the outside. Donovan Jones, a convoy to the end zone. Excellent run from Donovan Jones. And you can see why, for Danville, Coach Casey Woods is so excited about this young man.
Well, I'll tell you what, he's got is just a different back for him. As good as Schubert is and Skinner is, and they are really good hard-nosed runners, and they can run. But Jones gives you just a different flavor, a different feel. And again, he's fitting into the Danville way of doing things, the Danville style. And I think the biggest thing right now, Casey Woods, is bringing him along nice and slowly, but he's doing some positive things now.
Felt like he maybe eased him in earlier in the start of the games, and now Jones is really going a 35-yard run for Donovan Jones. We get another look from our ISC crew here at Warriors Stadium. A couple missed tackles, and then Jones uses his speed to do the rest. That's his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season.
And what I like there, too, was Jones had great vision, bounced it outside, good job of blocking downfield by the Danville receivers. And on another note for Frankfort here, I love what Coach Byers just did. He's greeting his defense on the hash. He is talking to them. He's encouraging them to keep playing. And I think that's a big sign, for your kids is, hey, the coach is not quitting. He doesn't expect you to quit, okay? If you coach this game long enough, you're going to have teams like this that struggle a little bit and games that get away from you.
Is it important here for Frankfort to try and just, find ways to win every play at this point? within yourself, within their talent
exactly.
they have.
Absolutely, Mike. And I think that's a great point because, again, winning is not going to be on the scoreboard for tonight for Frankfort, but it is on am I doing my assignment? How's my execution? And right now, that's what I'd be frustrated with if I'm Coach Byers.
Jade Ayers on the return, and he makes it out past the 30 this time to around the 32 or 33. So another offensive possession for the Frankfort Hot Dogs, who, it's only the first half, but the way things have gone, they're in danger of being shut out for the third consecutive week. Frankfort, like we've mentioned, has had a tough go of it so far, their last 2 games especially, as they lost at Lebanon 58-0 and then against Western Boone 57-0. So, I'm not a big math guy, but 115-0 combined over the last 2 games. That's a tough stretch, and this is a program that clearly has some talent deficiencies, but like you said, Coach Byers continuing to coach and not giving up on this team. There's Espinoza still on the ground, and he loses a yard.
I like the approach there. They did a swing pass earlier, was dropped and picked up. It was a lateral. Another way to do that now is run a quick pitch, trying to get Espinoza on the perimeter, away from all the 9 guys inside the box there. So I like the philosophy. Okay, I like what Coach Byers doing, but ultimately, so the execution there was a lot better. At that point, then, just too many guys at the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 11. Another pitch, this time to the far side, or the near side rather, but the open side of the field, and Espinoza loses a couple more.
Tell you what, Skinner, a running back, I tell you, this is what I love about seniors. Skinner last year was one of the leading rushers for Danville. Coach Woods goes to him, hey, we need your help on defense. This is where we're lacking early on. Skinner, that selfish senior, says, fine, Coach, I just want to play. He has loved his leadership all year. And again, to see what Skinner's doing now, great play by the young man. Love coaching kids like Skinner.
We haven't called his name or number a whole lot here tonight, but he's been in just about every tackle. 3rd and long. Michael looking deep down the field and well short. But there is a flag. And Frankfort might get bailed out on this one, as Michael was looking for his receiver, Caleb Ford.
And now in the high school football, there is no uncatchable. And so, again, you've got interference mainly, and really what was happening, that the Danville defender was really what the ball was underthrown. And so he pushed off. I don't think it was the intent of it. But again, if you commit the foul, the official's in the right spot. Doesn't help that the ball was underthrown like that. So the DB was really in a no-win situation there.
1st and 10 from the 42. Michael to throw again, and this one is almost brought in, but Ford couldn't hang on to it. 2nd and 10.
Tried more of an in-breaking route that time. And again, I like the play call. Just got to bring it down just a little bit. Got, again, the youthfulness of Frankfort at the quarterback position. Again, this will go a long way in building his confidence, even though he's not playing as well as he wants, but he's playing underneath the lights on Friday night, and that's a big deal from an experience standpoint.
Another low snap. Michael in trouble, and he just hits the deck. Some of these snaps look like they're a little too quick for Sam Michael as well back there. He has bobbled a couple that have just come right at him.
Yeah, it's been an adventure from the get-go here, from the snap standpoint. And that's something that you just take for granted as a coach until it doesn't happen. And that's the one thing as a fan there, again, snap the ball right, do this right. And those are things that go unnoticed until it doesn't happen, whether it be on the punt team or the PAT or in the shotgun formation. Again, the young man at center is doing a great job, but the ball is coming out there pretty quick.
Espinoza in trouble and is able to get a yard or two out of that play. This Danville defense has excellent team speed to the perimeter. That was one of their characteristics from a year ago, and it's certainly carried over. One of the hallmarks of this defense, a defense that's maybe missing a couple of those big playmakers like the one on the defense they had last year that got them to the semi-state round of the state tournament. But lots of team speed, and they have that 11 halves to the football type mentality.
Well, again, Jason Thompson does a great job of preaching that to his players. And we've got a flag here. I believe we're going to have 12 guys on the field when the ball was set. And again, that's another execution issue. And those are things that you can control. And again, understanding that who's on the punt team, who's not. And I understand that they've gone for it a little bit here. Coach Byers is explaining that to his young man that came off the field. Another coachable moment. And Coach Byers is taking full advantage of that tonight.
So it goes from 4th and 13 to 4th and 18. Mendoza has this one blocked. Danville picks it up and just tripped up. Michael McLaughlin couldn't quite find pay dirt after the blocked punt, but brings it down inside the 5. Another blocked punt for Danville. Good snap. Mendoza almost got it away, and Dominic Wynn blocked another one.
Boy, Wynn has been all over the place on special teams, on defense, and really is playing well. Neat job by the young man, and glad to see him playing so well.
On the tackle there for Frankfort to save the touchdown, Ethan Cook. Good hustle from him. It would have been easy to just say sayonara on that one, down 48-0 here in the first half, but Cook ran down McLaughlin to stop him at the 3. So here's Slayton, new back in the backfield. This is Lynn. Parker Lynn trying to get to the pylon. He's close, and he's in. Parker Lynn, the freshman. His first touchdown as a Danville Warrior.
Well, I'll tell you what, the one neat thing about homecoming, and you don't like to see this for Frankfort, but for Danville, going to get a lot of players involved. A lot of parents and grandparents and alumni are here seeing their family and friends play. And I know that Casey Woods will make sure that a lot of different players are in the game, and that's exciting for all levels. And that just builds that camaraderie, and that builds that off-season more buy-in, because the fact that playing on Friday night's a big deal.
Kick is up and through. Special teams, you mentioned it, it's been an adventure for both sides. With Danville struggling with PATs entering today, they've been pretty good here so far. 55-0. Danville leading Frankfort with 2 minutes left in the first half when we come back on ISC Sports Network.
Again? I'm going to miss the big game.
Troubled by your TV provider? Endeavor is here with eTV. With Endeavor's television service, there's no need to worry about a thunderstorm or whether your satellite dish is pointed in the right direction. We also provide internet, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
55-0. Danville leading the Frankfort Hot Dogs with 2 minutes left in the first half. Mike Fulton, Coach Lance Shive, alongside you on the ISC Sports Network. Braden Walliser to kick it away.
Well, we put a new rule in this last year for the high school football, and that's the mercy rule. And when you get to a certain level, which what we're at now, we will start seeing a running clock in the second half if the score stays the way it is.
Tough return there from Juan Mendoza for Frankfort. 1st and 10 for the Hot Dogs. So once this possession starts, we should have a running clock for the rest of the first half.
Mike, I think that starts in the second half. I'm not sure it's in the first half. I know there are two things have to happen. One, I believe it's got to be in the second half, and then the two is the score. But I think the officials, Kevin Brown, understands what's happening here. I would say look for him to spot the ball maybe a little slower and start the clock and let it run a little bit here as we get towards half.
Sam Michael in the pistol. And we have a flag before the snap. You would assume it would be against Frankfort as they had a man in motion.
should be an illegal shift of some sort. Yeah.
Call is false start. So we'll try first down again.
Well, I would look for Frankfort here to have 3 running plays, try to get out of here, with or down just 55-0. Hopefully
just
not having to punt the ball again.
All right, so the motion is clean this time, and this is Mendoza up the middle for Frankfort. A hard run for Juan Mendoza. He gets 5 of those yards back. Make it 6. It'll be 2nd and 9 or so.
Like the positive plays there. A little. It was almost what I like there that Frankfort did was a different pistol look where they went deep motion, and all they're trying to do is get Danville just to watch the motion and try to distract them away from what is going to happen and who the ball carrier is going to be.
And the motion airs back there again, but give it to Mendoza up the middle, and this time the Warriors were ready. Right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2. 3rd and long, entering the final minute here of the first half.
Yeah, the only issue right now that Frankfort has is they're not letting the play clock go all the way down. They could have ran 3 plays and got out of here or been real close. They've chosen not to, which is fine. That's their rhythm, and I understand that. But as a coach, I'm going to probably signal a play in later just to make more of that clock run out, so we're not out of our rhythm, but we're also not going fast.
Clock is right around 30. Here's Michael throwing it to the flats. Caleb Ford dropped for another loss. Excellent play there by Mark Broderick. Broderick, one of the stars of this team, hasn't been too involved tonight, but he hasn't had to be.
What I like what Broderick does, he defeats the block of the tackle, does a nice job of speeding his feet, meaning he's shuffling as he gets closer to it, and then finishing the play.
That's the end of the first half. Danville having fun on homecoming night, 55-0 over Frankfort. We'll be back in a bit for some analysis and the start of the second half here on the ISC Sports Network.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
A family tradition since 1955. Dine in or carry out daily at Bruno's Pizza. Taste our Bruno dough, brushed with garlic butter, sprinkled with Parmesan cheese, served with either cheese or marinara sauce. And try our dinner for 4 carry-out special, the Trio. It includes pasta, Bruno dough, and salad, available Monday through Wednesday. Boiler fans, check out Big O's Sports Room, filled with the best Purdue memorabilia.
Hi, I'm Orlando White, owner of Bruno's. So y'all come in and enjoy a famous pizza, Bruno dough, and enjoy the rest of the game.
Rose for the end zone, man open. That's a touchdown. Touchdown grab for Marriott. There you go. And why pull up for a jumper from 3 or even a mid-range when you can go right down the lane?
Sowers is back, reaches up, and it's a grand slam for De La Salle.
All alone. Scott got it. Great look by Coach Stick to break down the defense.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Keep up to date with your favorite high school, college, and semi-professional teams on the ISC Sports app. Download it today from the App Store, Google Play, or on Roku. The ISC Sports Network. Local lives here.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
It's a homecoming halftime here at Warriors Stadium. Danville leading Frankfort 55-0 at the half. This halftime show brought to you by eShield Security. Endeavor eShield Security provides security protection for your home or business. Powered by quality Honeywell products, Endeavor eShield helps protect what you cherish the most. Call 1-800-922-6677 for more information. A very one-sided event so far here in this one, Coach. 55-0 at the half. Danville having their way, but Frankfort can't get out of their own way, and it's been a combination of Danville's domination and Frankfort's inability to execute on both sides.
Well, you make the best point there of the execution, and I think it's been as much of Danville doing what they do, and that's being aggressive on offense and doing a nice job offensively or on defense of getting after it and causing turnovers, and then offense they are finishing as it is. Frankfort just flat not executing from the snap to the punt protection to just a simple handoff. Those things are what are going to drive coaches crazy, and what Coach Byers from Frankfort is really addressing here, in the locker room.
It is homecoming here at Danville, like we mentioned, as they're announcing the homecoming court right now. We've got a couple football players, it looks like, on the homecoming court. I can see Caleb Stevens, a sophomore defensive back down there, along with Dominic Wynn, one of the linebackers for Danville, who we have mentioned his name a lot tonight. He's had a couple of blocked punts. He's been all over the field on defense, and it looks like Dominic Wynn might be one of the guys, if not the guy, on Danville as they enter the second half of the season.
Well, I'll tell you what, Dominic Wynn has been everywhere, and I just like the way his aggressive style play, good frame on himself. He's aggressive, his technique is solid, and he's really done a nice job in the special teams and on defense.
Danville has blocked a number of punts right now as they announce Zane Thomas's name, one of the receivers for the Warriors here on the homecoming court. Like we mentioned, a number of football players on the homecoming court for the Warriors. And I think they're going to crown Zane Thomas as the homecoming king. So a banner night for Mr. Thomas, his team up ahead big. And he gets the crown here on homecoming, always a special night for high schoolers, especially seniors. Thomas has not been too involved in the receiving game, but his offense hasn't had the ball very much, and they've mainly kept it on the ground, although we've seen a bit of Ben Slayton, who has, from the small sample size of what we've seen, he's been pretty impressive so far.
Well, Ben really has worked hard all offseason. Saw him at a couple functions that we run with the Colts 7-on-7 and then our spring camp. And again, Ben transferred in from Plainfield, really did a nice job there, and really has done a nice job here adjusting to Casey Woods and their style of play. Casey likes his live arm, likes how he plays, and really, like you talked about, hadn't had to do a lot tonight, but what he has done has been impressive.
He has been impressive. He has found Connor Jones, a senior receiver, a couple of times, and then also on the ground we got a little bit of a taste of Donovan Jones, who broke off a nice 35-yard run for the Warriors late in that second quarter of action. Of course, Chandler Schubert and Alex Skinner, two of the workhorses on this in this backfield for the Warriors, with Schubert doing most of the work. He has scored a couple of times here today, but but that run from Donovan Jones was a nice little spark.
Well, I'll tell you what, the neat thing about this game, if I'm Casey Woods, is I'm giving Jones a chance to shine. He's a different type of back. He's not inside the tackles, but his perimeter play and ability to make the big play gives you another weapon. So if I'm Casey Woods, this game's been huge because the confidence is going to give Jones.
Join us for the second half of action here on the ISC Sports Network, and hang around for a message from our friends and partners, Boqua, and their aquatic fitness product.
BOQA stands for Body Aquatics. Had a woman that works out in one of the facilities I work out. She had a hard time picking up her kids. She and her mom started taking BOQA. And after about a month and a half, she came up to me before one class and just gave me a huge hug. And I was like, well, hi, how you doing? She's like, you've saved my life. After a month and a half in doing this, my doctor was so amazed at how well I could move and how easily my joints weren't aching. And the biggest thing, I've been able to pick up my daughter without pain for the first time in years.
The thing that BOQA does for me with Parkinson's, it helps me with my balance. It's a big thing. It helps me keep my muscles flexible, because with Parkinson's, your body becomes stiff. This helps me be flexible, get exercise, and helps with weight loss. It's been a great thing for me.
BOQA is athletics, aquatics, and exercise put together in a fun, effective package that allows you to get in great shape, safely, effectively with a bunch of friends.
It is a low-impact exercise, so it's not hard on your joints. People who have injuries can do all the exercises at their own pace, but yet get the benefit of exercise in the water.
My degree is in exercise science. And so in college, I discovered athletic training, and so I started working with athletics right off the bat. And with an internship that I had with the Philadelphia Eagles, the head trainer said, well, because you have aquatic training, because you're a lifeguard, you get to work out the athletes that have lower extremity injuries in the water. Literally thrown in the deep end of the pool to learn how to do aquatic therapy.
I saw my sister, and she said, come take BOQA with me. I said, what's BOQA? And she said, well, you'll find out. And I did. And I've taken BOQA every chance I've had since. If I could do it 5 nights a week, I probably would.
Tired of watching the same old things on TV? Something new is on the horizon. The ISC Sports Network. Contact your cable provider today to add the ISC Sports Network. See the big games, the big moments, the championships, and more from all across the state. High schools, colleges, original content you can't find anywhere else. On the ISC Sports Network, it's all here. Find out more information at iscsportsnetwork.com.
You have enough on your plate. Let McAllister Rentals' wide selection of equipment help. With an extensive equipment selection and experienced people, McAllister Rentals in the Cat Rental Store is your one-stop shop for all your equipment needs. You know we can help you with the big jobs, from moving dirt to getting you in the air. But did you also know that we can handle your smaller equipment needs with equipment like generators and water pumps? McAllister Rentals has made its mark with locations throughout Indiana and now Michigan. We pride ourselves on our reliable equipment, fast service, and knowledgeable people. Visit us online today or give us a call. McAllister Rentals, helping build Indiana since 1945.
Again?
Tortured by technology? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with Speed Geeks. Our Speed Geeks are expert technicians ready to rescue you from technology troubles. Our experts are here to get and keep your Wi-Fi running properly. We'll even make sure all of your devices stay connected. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications, technology for real people.
Pretty special, right? Where else can you get this?
No, pretty much anywhere.
What?
What? Oh, yeah, no, I meant Xfinity On Demand. You can get it on all your devices, anytime, anywhere. But yeah, this you can only get here. Dude, where's your horse?
Who cares?
Awesome is having the most TV shows and movies anywhere with Xfinity On Demand.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people. Not getting their messages? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eWireless. Endeavor Communications combines the nation's largest 4G LTE network with friendly hometown service, so you'll always be connected to your kids. We also provide internet, television, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
I don't think of this as a high school weight room. It's more like a high school classroom. I'm learning how to manage my time here. I'm learning that it's important to have goals and that it takes persistence and commitment to reach them. And I'm learning that the best way to lead is by example.
Indiana High School Sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Hits the rim right as the light goes in.
Hogan across the middle, finds the end zone, and touchdown.
Wow. Denard looking to throw this time. Going deep down the field, he's got Fusich. Look at this one again. The time will expire and the Gophers will win.
Is on the board. The North wins
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Thank you for joining us here on the ISC Sports Network as we bring you your Endeavor eShield Security Solutions halftime report and also halftime highlights brought to you by Endeavor. Let's get those highlights rolling from the first half. It was a good one for the Warriors as they lead 55-0. First touchdown pass of the day from Slayton, finding Connor Jones. That was the first offensive play from scrimmage.
Tell you what, Danville had, I believe, 4 touchdowns of drives of one play. Great job of Slayton of getting off to a great start. Great job in general by Connor Jones of hauling in that first touchdown for the Warriors.
And then the woes started in earnest for Frankfort as there you see a blocked punt. That was the first of many during the half as the Hot Dogs could not figure out the special teams, and Danville was getting creative, getting Caleb Marr, the offensive lineman, involved in the passing attack there. And then they hammer it in with Chandler Schubert. A short run there from the junior running back. He was busy during the first half, especially down near the goal line. And then a sack there by Tommy West. Everybody on this Danville Warrior defense getting involved. Here you see Slayton finding Mark Broderick, one of the stars of this team. Offensive masterpiece in the first half by the Warriors, but they had short fields to work with consistently. And there was Dominic Wynn, 81, who had a great first half, Coach.
I tell you what, Dominic Wynn was everywhere. He was blocking punts. He was making plays on defense. Love the way he plays in general.
There's Schubert again finding pay dirt. And then here you're going to see another miscue on offense here from Frankfort. Picked up Garrett Deaton, scoop and score for the linebacker for the Warriors. A defensive touchdown. And they almost had another one later. Here's Slayton, corner of the end zone. Once again, finding Connor Jones. Jones had 2 touchdown receptions. This was one of our favorite plays of the first half. Donovan Jones making a nice 35-yard run, broke a couple tackles, then used his speed to get to the outside. Jones, the third back in the backfield for the Warriors, but making a case to get more touches. Another blocked punt. Guess who? Dominic Wynn, 81. Almost a scoop and score, but that time Michael McLaughlin just got tripped up. But it didn't matter because Danville right here hammered it in anyway. This time it was the freshman running back, Parker Lynn, who found his way into the end zone. So everybody getting a piece of the pie for the Warriors.
Well, the neat thing, we saw Zane Thomas, 14, get honored as homecoming king. He really started everything off by that first block punt for Danville, and so neat to see the seniors and Danville playing so well in all 3 areas. Like to see the fact that Frankfort hasn't quit. You know, Coach Byers hasn't quit. His kids played hard in that first half. They just were a little bit outmanned a little bit at times, and but again, it wasn't for a lack of effort. It was more from a lack of execution, as you talked about throughout the first half, Mike.
Yeah, definitely not for lack of effort, as we saw Jack Espinoza, their running back and workhorse, number 34 in blue for the Hot Dogs, took a lot of the carries, took a lot of the hits from this big Danville defense, but he was still running hard as his team was playing hard near the end of that first half. And Frankfort playing for pride here, down 55-0 as we open up the third quarter of action between these two teams. Everything has certainly gone the Warriors' way. We're going to step aside here again quickly during the half, and in just a couple moments we'll bring you the start of the second half of action here between Danville and Frankfort here at Warrior Stadium on the ISC Sports Network.
Not getting their messages? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eWireless. Endeavor Communications combines the nation's largest 4G LTE network with friendly hometown service, so you'll always be connected to your kids. We also provide internet, television, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
Big lead for the team in white. Danville up 55-0 as we enter the third quarter of action here on the ISC Sports Network. Mike Fulton, Coach Lance Scheib alongside you, along with our entire ISC crew here at Warriors Stadium. Frankfort will kick off to start things here for the third quarter. They've had a tough go of it, and this could be the first time here today that Danville will start with the ball in their own territory. The Warriors have not started a drive that has not been in Frankfort territory yet.
Well, I tell you what, I'll be anxious to see what happens here. I'll be anxious to see how they approach, the kickoff here. Be anxious to see how quickly and how long that Danville plays its starters. This is a great time to get the young kids involved in the game, and just to make sure that you come out of the game healthy.
That'd be a silly way to lose one of your star players up 55-0.
Exactly. Good point.
Juan Mendoza. And on the approach, the ball is blown over by a gust of wind, so Mendoza will reset.
Yeah, I stepped out there at halftime, Mike, and it's got a pretty stiff breeze. It really has picked up, and the temperatures have really dropped. Very comfortable, but it certainly has dropped.
Mendoza gets away a pretty good one here on the return for Danville. Zane Thomas wrapped up shy of his own 30, and we have a flag down in between the 30 and the 25. Not bad coverage there from Frankfort. A good start here to the second half. Mendoza was kicking with quite a bit of wind at his back.
Well, the interesting thing would be, I thought Danville did a great job of keeping their focus in that first half, but now you've had a halftime. I don't care what you said as a coach, and Casey Woods can talk about this and this, about being 0-0, playing well. Again, it's hard to keep that focus when you're up 55-0.
And also, we mentioned earlier, it's homecoming, so you have a longer homecoming halftime, lots of distractions. Zane Thomas, the man who just returned the kick, was homecoming king. The penalty is against Danville, so they are all the way back inside their own 20. This is easily the worst field position that Ben Slayton and company have had here today. They keep it on the ground with Schubert. Schubert, a big hole up the middle and into the secondary, and stumbling down just shy of the 40. Right after Frankfort had good coverage on the kickoff, a penalty against Danville. Chandler Schubert breaks off a big choke run right up the gut.
Great job by Chandler, great vision. Really liked the way he cuts and moves. Only a junior, got a chance to be really special here for Danville. Definitely can build around his abilities, both offensively and defensively.
Lining up alongside Ben Slayton in the shotgun now. On 1st and 10, they give it to Schubert again. Behind a wall of offensive linemen, and he picks up a solid 7 out to about the 45. And Schubert's not a back who's maybe going to dazzle you. He doesn't have maybe breakaway speed, you could say, although you wouldn't want to discredit him for his ability, certainly. But he's just kind of a grinder who gets it done, runs through contact. He's been tough to bring down tonight for the Hot Dogs.
He's got great balance. He's got really good feet. And like I say, he does a nice job of keeping his feet going after contact, which is why he normally gets yards after he's been hit.
So here's 2nd and 3 from the 45. They hand it off. End around sweep. This is Tyler Dawson, and Dawson coughs it up. Ball still is loose, and I think Frankfort has it. Looks like the hot dogs might have jumped on it. It looks like Ramsey Mitchell, brother of Reese Mitchell, jumped on it. So it's a turnover in favor of Frankfort. That's about as good of a start as they could have hoped for.
Well, I tell you what, nice job by Tyler Dawson. You just got to squeeze it. In the contact area, you want the nose of the football to be up. You want 3 points of pressure on the ball. In that case, the ball just kind of slipped out of Dotson's hands.
That was Caleb Ford who stripped the ball. 1st and 10 here for Frankfort. Let's see if they can get it rolling on offense now. Sam Michael looking to throw down the far sideline, and it's caught. Jade Ayers near midfield, an underthrown ball, but Ayers went back to get it. Coach Byers fired up along that sideline despite being down big. Frankfort playing well, although we do have a flag, and I think this one's going to come back. They're going to get a hold.
Well, what I liked about it again was Ayers did a nice job of high-pointing the ball. Nice job of starting in that second half here. A little double move and got behind the defense, but unfortunately there was a hole there. And again, credit Danville's front. Again, you get your holding calls when your lower body stops moving, and looked like the lower body of the offensive right tackle slowed down a little bit.
Yep, it was indeed the right tackle, Caden Stein, who had his arms wrapped around the legs of Michael McLaughlin after it looked like Stein initially tried to throw a chop block and then just wrapped up the legs of McLaughlin. You can see here near the bottom of the O-line, yep, 52 Stein just hanging on to number 45 McLaughlin.
Hey,
that'll
again,
make it 1st and
I give the young man
20.
a lot of credit. He's trying to block somebody that's probably about 3/4 bigger than what he is, probably a foot taller. You got to find a way, but that time he just got a little aggressive.
Caden Stein, a senior playing right tackle, only 180 pounds. And when you look at big number 45 McLaughlin, who almost returned a fumble for a score earlier, he's at least 6'2", 6'3", closer to 200 as you see the two lined up next to each other there. 2nd and long. They give it up the middle to Espinoza. Espinoza not able to work through that linebacking core of Danville to pick up of only a couple. 3rd and long.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, again, the one thing that, great job by Casey Woods. Saw a little fire from a player there, wanted to get him off there, calm him down a little bit here. Wasn't real happy, and the Danville players are not real happy because Frankfort's not quitting. To their credit, they're still blocking and they're still running hard, and they're doing what they need to do. The score's not going to change probably much, but it doesn't mean you have to stop playing.
There's a Frankfort team that has been here before. They've lost the last 2 games 50-something to nothing. So they have been in these situations before, unfortunately for them. But credit this team and Coach Byers not giving up. It's still going hard here on the road against an opponent that's definitely superior talent-wise. Here's Sam Michael in trouble, now trying to roll out, but brought down in the backfield. Another sack. This time it was Aiden McCormick, the sophomore defensive lineman. Got in there and made the play in the backfield. 4th and very long here.
With the wind, look for Frankfort to punt. But again, as you've talked about a lot here, it's been an adventure. Yeah. And with 4th and 28, looks like more like 38. I would say there's probably not going to be too much of a fake here.
Espinoza gets the snap and gets it away. It's a pretty good punt. Use that wind. The reception is bobbled, and now coming across midfield, Luke Wooten still on his feet down near the 30. The net of that punt isn't going to be that great after the return, but Espinoza did a good job of getting that across midfield. He had plenty of wind to help him, but there you see if Frankfort gets a couple of these punts off, instead of having multiple punts blocked like they did in the first half, maybe Danville still has the lead, but at least it's not 55-0.
Well, I'll tell you what, Mike, the one thing that's kind of happened here, he kind of outkicked his coverage.
Yeah.
And so, again, great kick with the wind, but the coverage wasn't able to get out there in time, so thus, like you talked about, the net's not great, but the execution was a lot better.
Here's Schubert taking the handoff and moving the pile forward. Ben Slayton out of the game now, as just a reminder that this third quarter is brought to you by Encompass Credit Union. Encompass Credit Union proudly serves Tipton, Clinton, and Howard counties by offering a full line of deposit, investment, and lending products. We have a commitment to our companies. That's a difference that you can count on. Check us out at encompasscu.org. Caleb Stevens into the game at quarterback, as he hands it off to Schubert again, and Schubert brought down in the backfield. Nice play that time from number 74, Joey Long.
Great job by Joey Long. Great job of penetration there. Looking forward to watching Caleb Stevens play. Young Danville quarterback is their future quarterback. Works hard. Has seen him at camp for the last couple years. Really looking forward to him. Has really had a nice year so far for Danville at the lower levels.
He has run the ball a couple of times for the Warriors, but he has not attempted a pass this season. Now he's on the run again. Has some lead blockers around the left side and is tripped up, it looks like, just shy of the first down marker. Caleb Ford came in to make the stop for Frankfort.
We'll probably look for something similar again against the wind here. Great job by Caleb Stevens. Great job blocking by the Danville players in general, but I would look for something similar to that, something on the edge. Again, fourth and short, trying to, again, convert on this fourth down.
It'll be fourth and about 3. Offense still on the field for the Warriors. Reminder, there is a running clock here with Danville up 55-0. So we're not going to see the clock stop a whole lot. They'll keep it on the ground here again. This is Stevens. Stevens towards the end zone. He's close. He's brought down near, a little bit past the 5. They'll mark him down at about the 3.5.
Great job again. Thought they might do something similar to the other side. They just had success with that here. Again, great job up front. Again, I love the way the linemen are downfield for Danville, finishing on blocks. I love Caleb Stevens, again, putting his nose in there. Young Q, I like how things are looking for the future for Danville.
Now he lines up under center. Fumbles the snap. Schubert picks it up, and he's popped. Maybe got back to the original line of scrimmage, maybe even picked up half a yard.
That's something that Danville, 99% of the time, is in the gun.
Yeah.
And hasn't, again, they don't do a lot under center. And as simple as that sounds, when you don't do it every single time or often, sometimes that execution there isn't what Casey Woods wants.
And we see this so often nowadays at the college level, even now at the high school level with both of these teams, that teams are exclusively shotgun teams. And in short yardage situations, that can be a big problem.
Well, the one advantage about being in the gun is it lets the play develop and lets the holes open up, just kind of like there it did for Caleb Stevens. And that's kind of the principle about not going under center on short yards, but I agree with what you're saying.
Stevens with his first rushing touchdown of the year as Danville lengthens their lead over Frankfort. 40 seconds left to go. You see there Chandler Schubert, the lead blocker. Great block, great seal from Alex Skinner, number 5 as well, who they use as kind of an H-back almost, a super back, as it's called by Northwestern, kind of a tight end fullback hybrid. Not a glamorous position, but Skinner played it well there, and he's been in the trenches all of this evening. High snap, but Walliser gets the kick up and through. Good work from Luke Wooten to get that snap down. As we'll step away here at the end of the third quarter. Danville up 61-0 over Frankfort on the ISC Sports Network.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Food, shelter, fast Wi-Fi. It's all we really need. Good thing Endeavor has the fast, reliable internet it takes to power all the Wi-Fi hungry gadgets in your home. All at once. With speeds up to 10 gig, get smooth HD streaming video, gaming, music, and surfing, all with no waiting, no buffering, no kidding. Call or click WeEndeavor.com and upgrade to Indiana's fastest internet today.
End of the third. That third quarter was brought to you by Indiana Wesleyan University. Indiana Wesleyan, the world is waiting for you to make a difference in a way that only you can. IWU can help you discover, clarify, or develop your calling. Schedule a visit today at discoveriwu.com. Fourth quarter now with Danville leading Frankfort 61-0. This fourth quarter brought to you by NCAA Hall of Champions. Enjoy football Saturdays at the NCAA Hall of Champions. We'll have the games on, and popcorn is only 50 cents. Wear your favorite collegiate gear the first Saturday of the month through January and receive discounted admission. Plan your visit at NCAAHallofChampions.org. Big lead here for Danville over Frankfort. Walliser, the kicking duties again for the Warriors. Here on the return, Caleb Ford. Ford spinning and is down shy of the 30. We will have a running clock here in the fourth quarter due to the size of Danville's lead over the Frankfort Hot Dogs. Frankfort has been playing tough, but they just haven't had the execution or the skill to compete with Danville.
Well, the thing right now that I like is I haven't seen a lack of spirit. I haven't seen a lack of competitiveness from Frankfort. And I know I understand we are judged on the final score. I understand that, coach for 25 years. But if I'm Coach Byers, I'm happy. Not with the score, but the fact my kids are still fighting. You talked about earlier, my great points is they've got beat the last couple weeks like this, but yet they came out fighting. They came out playing hard. Again, they're getting beat because right now talent level's a little different. And it's not equal, but it's not for their ability to keep competing, and I like that from the Hot Dogs.
Now let's talk a little bit of X's and O's here. Both of these teams use that H-back for Frankfort. It's Big 33 that you can see there blocking Ethan Cook. For Danville, they have Alex Skinner. Both teams with spread offenses, with no huddle offenses, and we're seeing that more and more with the H-back, kind of like what you see with the Philadelphia Eagles, reigning Super Bowl champions, and then the Ohio State Buckeyes use that style of offense as well. They're off to a great start at their own level of football, but is this the future, using that H-back almost as a fullback, kind of the same way some offenses use a pulling guard in these trap plays?
Well, what they end up doing is they get an extra blocker if they need to for pass pro. The answer against spread always was bring pressure.
Yeah.
Well, now you've got an extra blocker, so now I've got 6. He can be a receiver, he can be a runner, and he can be a blocker, and I think that's why we're seeing more and more teams use it. Not because they necessarily want to, but it's a way to keep their quarterbacks healthy. It's a way to, again, to fight pressure with having a blocker. And I like the way the offense have kind of evolved with it because you're keeping your quarterback clean.
Sure, and you look at, I mentioned Ohio State earlier, and that's a team that runs the ball with great efficiency.
Exactly.
And they do it out of the shotgun, which, a lot of good running teams, a lot of ground and pound teams. To look at Wisconsin, look at Iowa in the Big Ten. They're not out of the gun. They're lined up under center in the I formation with a couple tight ends in the game a lot of the times. But now we're seeing these power running schemes out of the shotgun as opposed to the spread, as now Espinoza is going to throw it deep for Frankfort, and that ball falls well short of its intended target. But instead of these wide spread teams, kind of like what you saw with Purdue a couple decades ago with Joe Tiller, and then also West Lafayette and the way the Red Devils spread it across
Exactly.
the field. What's the difference between the way that Frankfort and Danville wants to run their offense versus these widespread offenses that don't use that extra blocker? Is that the only difference, kind of protecting the quarterback?
Well, I think the biggest thing is you are making the quarterback in a pure spread. You're making the quarterback account for the unblocked defender.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have that +1, which normally means I'm bringing more than 6, you've got to account for that, which means your quarterback gets hit. Now, at that level, at the college level, you've got time to study more film and do more in not necessarily time-wise practice, but you're able to study more film. In this ways, I feel like this. The only way that really screws an offense up is pressure. And in this case here, if I can block that pressure, I've got a chance to move the ball.
Good run from Jack Espinoza, on that one. That's the best offensive play of the night for Frankfort. Eventually tackled by Trevor Gerald, but a good run from big number 34 that you see there. Espinoza just took the snap and then took off.
I like Espinoza. He's done a nice job. I really like what he's doing. I like how hard he's played. He hasn't come off the field. He's been on every special team and really is playing hard.
He's running it again now up the middle and is met hard there. It'll be second and about 9. You coached for 25 years. Is that the total? And I remember at Noblesville, you kind of ran a little bit of everything, if I recall. You spread it out a lot, but you weren't afraid to kind of get up in there and run it in between the tackles as well. If you were to jump into head coaching at the high school football level right now, what would you try and teach these kids so that they'd be the best prepared potentially? As there you see Jack Espinoza down on the sidelines for Frankfort. We'll keep an eye on that. But if you were to jump back into it again, would you run the spread again, or would you try and line it up and go more north and south?
Well, I'll tell you what, the one thing that offenses do, and I love it when they can dictate what you have to do on defense. And if you look at what Ohio State does, they run with an ace back, but they're also in unbalance a lot. Mm-hmm. If I can dictate to you that you've got to play a certain front or a certain coverage, that gives your team the best chance, because now the prep time's easier. You know exactly what's coming, whether it's cover 2 or cover 3 or whatever it is. And so that's the one thing that I would recommend to any coach, is not that the norm is not to stay with spread, but in spread there's too many things they can do to you. There's so many things that you've got to, again, if you look at wing T, there's only so many things that you can do that, so do something that dictates to the defense what they have to run.
Now tell us explain to us an unbalanced front.
An unbalanced front means I have an extra, either a receiver or a lineman, more than what you do on a standard set, and thus I'm going to dictate what you have to do.
Sam Michael breaks the silence for Frankfort, reversing his field, and the Hot Dogs are on the board. That's the first time they've scored in 3 games. And it was their quarterback, Michael, who got it done. A big run from Michael. Had his jersey pulled, shoulder pads hanging out, and he outran everybody else.
Mike, you talk about what are the victories for this game for Frankfort. That's a big one. That's a huge one. They've only scored, I believe, 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns on the season. And so that has been few and far between. That is a big deal. Your point earlier, that's what he's looking for. If I'm Coach Byers, that's what I want. I want things like that I can actually build on. And I understand it's not against the starters. But again, it's still on a Friday night underneath the lights.
And any points looks a lot better than a big goose egg.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And that point after attempt goes awry for Frankfort, so they're stuck with 6, but they'll take it. That was a drive from the Hot Dogs. They had a couple big plays, one from Espinoza, who we haven't seen back out on the field, and then this play from Sam Michael, the quarterback for the Hot Dogs, taking it in himself. Big run. Dogs are on the board, but they're still down big when we come back here on the ISC Sports Network.
Whether in Tipton or Clinton County, Encompass Credit Union, community-minded just like you. At Encompass, personal member service and convenient technology go hand in hand in making your financial experience effortless. Encompass Credit Union takes part in many of the things that make our communities special, keeping your money working right here. Encompass strives to support the local community by sponsoring sports teams, community groups, and school events. Encompass Credit Union in Tipton and Frankfort, community-minded just like you.
Big lead here for Danville over Frankfort, although the Hot Dogs just punched one in. A big long run from Sam Michael, the quarterback for Frankfort. Able to get on the board here late in the fourth quarter. We do have a running clock here in the fourth quarter, as we are currently under 4 minutes. The clock is even running in between possessions. 62-6 as this fourth quarter of action brought to you by Ardente Dental. At Ardente Dental, we offer high-tech dentistry with a personal touch. Our team is well-trained and knowledgeable in many areas of dentistry and can help bring your smile to life. We look forward to providing the highest quality of dentistry achievable, not only for you, but your family and friends as well. To schedule your next appointment, call 765-654-7222 or visit artedental.com. This is Parker Lynn on the return, and Lynn doesn't get far. Subs are in the game here for the Warriors. This is good for them to see some PT here against Frankfort late.
Great for grandma and grandpa, great for the parents, great for the the student body. Again, I talked about this earlier about camaraderie. Talked about building a program. Casey Woods has done a great job of coming home. You can't always come home. Casey Woods has done that, and then and then some. And I'm really happy for what Casey's done in general. But this is one of those homecoming games. Everybody remembers homecoming, who wins king, queen, and you want to come out on top as a program as well.
Parker Lynn with a decent run, stopped just shy of the 30, enough for a first down though. And I noticed this coming in. I'm sure you did as well, Coach. But this is such a great community here in Danville around their athletics program. I mean, just the fact that, the whole town really is out here to watch the game. The place was buzzing. It was impossible to find a place to park getting in here. Everybody is shown out. It's a great atmosphere. Lots of fans have stuck around despite the score. And the football team is not the only thing to get excited about here at Danville, as well as girls soccer is about to open up their playoff run. They host a sectional here at home in Danville against Crawfordsville. That's coming up on Tuesday at 5 o'clock. Boys soccer won the Sagamore Conference Championship for the third time in 6 years last night with a 2-0 win over Crawfordsville. Volleyball, the volleyball team is outstanding here at Danville as well. They now have 5 straight years of 20 or more wins. So lots of good things here for the Warriors in different phases of the athletics department.
Well, I'd say the first thing I want to talk about is what you started with. The community support here is incredible. Yeah. If you're looking for a community, what a great place to raise your family with great values. And again, a community that supports its student athletes and everything that goes on, and the success of Danville, not just in football, but in all the sports, as you allude to, makes this a great destination and a great spot to live for a family.
There's a definite culture here, a culture of winning.
Exactly.
And
Amen.
you can see it's on the football field, definitely, if you watch the team from year to year. But also just, all around the athletics department, and just the fact that, you have so many alumni that have come back for the game as well here on homecoming, but also just the fact that the community has shown out to the game as well. A game that I'm sure many people knew was probably going to be one-sided, but nonetheless. This is Parker Lynn. Lynn into the secondary for Danville, still on his feet and brought down. And that might be the last play of the game. The running clock, we're at 10 seconds. And that should be it. Danville and Frankfort coming to a close. 62-6. The Warriors all over the Hot Dogs. As Danville now over 500 in the record column. They're 4-3. Over 500 for the first time so far this year. Frankfort falling to 0-7. As we will get you a quick post-game report. We'll get you that here in a sec on ISC. When we come back, we'll get you the player and play of the game here on the ISC Sports Network.
Worried your family isn't protected at home? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eShield Security Solutions. With Endeavor eShield Security Solutions, peace of mind comes from knowing your family and your business are safe. We also provide internet, television, wireless, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people. Irritated by your internet provider? Have no fear. Endeavor is here with eForce high-speed internet. Download speed? No problem. Download an HD movie in seconds with our remarkable gigabit speed. Endeavor not only provides the latest fiber optic technology, we're also here to help you use it. We also provide television, wireless, security, and telephone services with outstanding local support. Give us a call or visit weendeavor.com to see if you're in our service area. Endeavor Communications. Technology for real people.
Want to know what I like best about playing basketball for my high school? I like it because it's a place where my friends get to see me play. I like it because I'm playing for someone besides myself. I'm playing for everybody in my school and every person in my community.
Indiana high school sports. They're more than just a game.
Come and see me play.
62-6, the final here between Danville and Frankfort. Post-game wrap-up brought to you by Endeavor. From simple home printer setup to PC diagnostics and large-scale network development, Endeavor eTechs can help with all your computer needs. Visit weendeavor.com to learn more. Let's get right into it. Let's get to the play of the game, brought to you by the NCAA Hall of Champions. The play of the game brought to you by the Hall of Champions, located in beautiful White River State Park in downtown Indy. Experience all 24 NCAA sports at the NCAA Hall of Champions. As there you see the play of the game, the scoop and score for the Danville defense. There it was number 17, Garrett Deaton, who took it all the way in. Take another look at it, a backwards lateral. Deaton, the linebacker, capitalizing for the Warriors.
Well, I tell you what, the heads-up play by Deaton, what I liked about it was he understood it was a lateral, pick it up, scoop and score. Huge highlight on homecoming day for Deaton and his family.
We had a lot to choose from for the Warriors. We just happened to go with Garrett Deaton. And that touchdown. Let's get you the player of the game, brought to you by the Farmers Bank, locally owned and operated with 10 banking offices located in central Indiana, providing retail business, trust, and asset management, investment, mortgage, and electronic banking services. The Farmers Bank is here to support you every step of the way. Take your banking on the go with the Farmers Bank mobile banking app. Visit thefarmersbank.com for more information. The Farmers Bank, my bank for life. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Dominic Wick. Coach?
I tell you what, Dominic Wynn was everywhere. He did a great job on special teams, did a great job on defense, really set the tone for Danville right out of the gates. And I tell you what, loved to see the safety come downhill and do what he did, blocking punts and making plays at the line of scrimmage, really, but was a tone setter and deserving of the player of the game, Dominic Wynn.
In a 62-6 game, you probably could have picked a lot of guys, but Wynn was all over the field on defense. This Danville defense was all over the place. They had the hot dogs covered up from start to finish, pretty much. 62-6. That's all we have for you here from Warrior Stadium in Danville. Big win on homecoming for the home teams. For myself, Mike Fulton, Coach Lance Shive, and our entire ISC crew, we wish you good night from Danville.